A very significant vote that happened there in the upper house of Russian parliament. The vote, as you said, was unanimous. 89 of them were for the motion, 0 against. Now, the big question now is Vladimir Putin now has the authority to send Russian forces into Ukraine. The big question now is this something that they've done in retrospect, or are the Russians going to start sending forces right now? As you know, there have been reports in the past, I would say, 18 to 24 hours, especially from the Ukrainian government, who have said that the Russians have already flown in forces into the Crimea and into southern Ukraine, which is the predominantly Russian territory of that country. They talk of up to 2,000 forces, potentially even up to 6,000 forces that might already be on the ground there. And also the regional government there, which is also pro-Russian, has said that Russian forces that are part of a military base that Russia has in that region anyway, are already helping them secure government buildings in the main town of Simferopol, which is the capital of the Crimean. So the big question now is this happening in retrospect, or are we going to see a big push of Russian forces move towards Ukraine?
And of course, this comes, Fred, just hours after, maybe 18 hours after President Obama warned Russia against military intervention in Ukraine. Where do we foresee this going in the next couple of steps? I'm not asking you to pull out a crystal ball here, but the president has drawn, sort of, without using the phrase, a red line, and it seems that Russia is prepared to cross it.
Yeah, the president very much in danger of walking to, if you will, another red line trap, sort of similar to the Syria chemical weapons complex, if we remember that. It's very difficult to tell. You're absolutely right. We're trying to sort of pull out that crystal ball because anyone who would have told you 5 days ago that we would be where we are now in this conflict, you would have thought that he was crazy. It's so fast moving. It's so unpredictable predictable at this point in time. What Russian politicians are talking about, though, Victor, is they are talking about a very limited force that could be put on the ground there. As I've said, some already think that 2,000 Russian forces, additional forces, might have already been placed on the ground, but certainly the vibe that we're getting here from Moscow is that this is supposed to be a very limited operation. It's unclear how long it's supposed to take. It's unclear how many soldiers are supposed to participate. But we also know that the Russians are very much in a position to move forces into Ukraine because they have a gigantic military exercise going on right next door that they started off right after Viktor Yanukovych, then the pro-Russian president of Ukraine, was ousted. It involves some 150,000 soldiers, 880 tanks, and 120 helicopters. So they have a lot of assets close to the border. They could move them very quickly if they wanted to. The question is, are they going to do that, or do they already have what they feel they need on the ground to do the job that they want to do, which they claim is securing the area, and they say is stabilizing the area. Of course, the Ukrainian government has a very different view. They call all of this illegal. They say it's a breach of their sovereignty, and they are calling on Russia to call its forces back.